name's Chanel. Thank you for joining me here at Canaan Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a power-packed breakfast. Many of us don't make time to eat breakfast in the morning because we're so busy doing this, that and the other, but we really do need to make that time that we need to get what we need in the morning so that we can get through the day. So I'm going to be making granola. Now the recipe I'm going to be using is my own recipe, but it was very much inspired by the recipe in this book here called Give Them Something Better. Over 120 recipes of non-meat, non-dairy food, so food that's got no cholesterol. And the recipe here for the granola is what I'm basing my recipe off, but it's not quite the same. Okay, so in my recipe, what you're going to need is approximately 7 cups of oats. You're going to need some roughly chopped almonds, which I have here. You're going to need approximately a cup of pumpkin seeds full of zinc. You're also going to need cranberries, which have excellent antiseptic and antibacterial properties, especially for infections like urine type infections and things like that. And I've also got apricots, which are a great source of vitamin A, excellent for promoting healthy, vibrant skin. I've also got mango, pineapple, and I'm going to be using coconut as well. Okay, so the first step is you put your oats into a mixing bowl. Okay, just put them all in there. That's about 4 to 5 cups. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it at that for now. I'm not going to add any more oats just yet. And then I'm going to add my roughly chopped almonds, my cranberries, my apricot, pineapple, and mango. Okay? So I'm putting all of that in one time. So you put all of your dry ingredients together first of all. Now, just while I'm mixing the dry ingredients together, let me just tell you that oats are excellent for those that are suffering with high cholesterol because oats contain something called beta-glucan. What beta-glucan does is that it takes the bile salts out of the intestine, the large intestine. Those bile salts are the foundation of the cholesterol. So when the beta-glucan draws that out of the intestine, it stops those foundational elements from developing into cholesterol. So if you're suffering with high cholesterol, oats or granola or just anything containing oats will be a good thing for you to implement in your diet. Okay, so we've got all of our dry ingredients together, as you can see here. Now some of my fruit pieces are a little bit large. I don't want it that big, so I'm going to cut them up just a little bit. Obviously you would do this before you go and mix it in the oats like what I've done today. Anyway, so I'm just going to cut them up just a little bit more. That should do. Okay, so all of your dry ingredients are there. Now we're going to add our wet ingredients. Now in the Give Them Something Better recipe, it calls for you to add water. Now I've got a sweet tooth, so I don't just want to add water. I'm going to add apple and mango juice. Okay, so you can add whatever you want. It's your granola, do whatever you want, be experimental, be creative. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put maybe about a cup of juice in this. I don't wanna put too much in there because I also wanna put some honey in. So I'm gonna add that's about 4 tablespoons of honey there. Okay, now if your mixture's too wet, all you need to do is just add more oats to balance it out, okay? Now, oh, I forgot my coconut. Now you can add as much coconut as you want. I love coconut, so I'm adding about maybe 2 cups. Okay, now you don't want your mixture to be too wet. The reason is, if your mixture is too wet, when it comes to you baking it, it's not going to be like nice little clusters the way granola should be. It's going to be big old hard chunks of oats which you're going to really struggle to chew through, and you don't want that. So you're going to need to get your hands dirty, just like what I'm doing here. Okay, you can wear gloves or something like that if you don't want to get your hands dirty, but I personally don't mind. Okay, so I'm getting my hands all in this, mixing all of the ingredients together, and I can already tell my mixture is too wet, so I need to go ahead and add some more oats to this. Okay, so you don't want it sticky like this. See, it's too sticky, it can form like a dough. That's not how you want it to be. You want it to be just moist enough to form small clusters. You don't want a big doughy mess. So I'm gonna add the oats. Let's add a cup at a time. About a cup there. Maybe I'll go ahead and add another one. All right, so let's just keep mixing. So you're going to keep mixing, using your fingertips, really getting your hands in there, getting the clusters that you want. okay? Now, you can put whatever you want in your granola. I've chosen to put fruit and pumpkin seeds, but you can go ahead and put, I don't know, maybe sunflower seeds, an excellent source of vitamin E. Again, that's good for the skin, as are the apricots that I've got in here. I've got almonds in here as well, which are an excellent source of calcium. So earlier on, I actually made cashew nut milk. If you wanted to make almond milk, that's another great way of getting your source of calcium, your daily source of calcium. Okay, so we're continuing to mix. It's taking a little while, but that's okay. And then once it's the consistency that we need it to be, we're gonna go ahead and put it on a baking tray, and we're gonna bake this at a very low heat for maybe 3 to 4 hours until it dries out, okay? So I think I'm about done here. Making a mess, never mind. All right, so you get your baking tray. I prefer to line my baking tray with baking paper simply because the granola can get really sticky, and like once you tip the granola out, it's really hard to wash the tray. So we don't want to have to cause unnecessary work. So we're going to put a baking tray down, a baking sheet down, and we're going to put our mixture into the tray. All right, here we go. Now you don't want it to be too thick. I think I'm going to need 2 trays for this, because you want your mixture to be nice and evenly like spread out. You want to make sure it cooks all the way through, because it's not good to eat uncooked grains. The oats need to be thoroughly cooked, okay? So hence the reason why it takes so long to actually cook. So you spread it out like this. If you have it too like steeped, what you'll have is the top bit burning and the bottom bit's not cooked. So you want to make sure it's nice and shallow, like how I've got it here. And that's about ready to go in the oven. So as you can see, I've got a lot of mixture left over, which I can just put into another baking tray, no problem. Okay, so as I said, this will go in the oven, lower than gas mark 1, the lowest temperature you can put it on for until it's done basically. But normally it takes me about 4 hours. Okay, so that's it. So enjoy your granola. Thank you for joining me today.